Spawning down in the bottom left position of Oxide, it is Dragon Phoenix Gaming's Rogue. In the blue. And his opponent, spawning up in the top right, it is Clem. In the red, representing Team Liquid. And man, is he ever something special. So much hype around this kid. He has got the weight of the world on his shoulders. And there's been a lot of talk about, you know, if he goes up against Rogue, it's going to be so easy. Like, Clem's just going to dominate him. He's been dominating Serral. He's been dominating Raynor. He's just the best Zerg player in the world, or the best Terran player in the world, the best TVZ in the world. But Rogue is one of those legendary players who, when you give him some prep time, can be an absolute terrifying player to go up against. Absolutely one of the scariest players to go up against. And I will say Clem is one of those players that I would consider to be, at least his ZBT, a little bit on the predictable side. Rogue, those are the kind of players he can feast on. So we're going to be seeing what happens here. So far, nothing too crazy from either player. Going to be really keeping our eye out for what happens. I do find it interesting how Rogue keeps this Overlord at the natural. Just wanted to make sure he's not getting proxy raxed. And if he is, he's going to see it coming very, very early. Very early. Clem on the other side is going to be just going for a standard expand. Scouting at normal timings. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy at all. He's going to make sure it's a hatch first. And it is. So Rogue not going to throw any curveballs out of the gate. I will say if there was one weakness to Clem's play, it's that he is a little bit on the predictable side. He is a little bit formulaic. And you could argue that he's able to do that because his mechanics are so godly. They're so insanely good that he's able to make that happen. Now, we are going to be seeing sixlings coming out of Rogue. He really doesn't want to lose any Zerglings or any drones to this, so getting the extra pair of Zerglings can really make it easier to be a little bit safer, and I think that's already a nice adjustment against a player like Clem. Look at that. Microing back the Zerglings as they get low. Great micro so far from Rogue, and yes, it's effectively as though he kills one of his own drones, but in exchange for making sure he doesn't lose any Zerglings, doesn't lose any drones additionally, and is able to get a creep tumor down, all that jazz. Totally fine with that. I'm totally fine with that, and in fact, I like it, because it's not like you actually lose a drone. You just have 2 extra Zerglings, which is going to be great when dealing with a Hellion follow-up later. Speaking of which, we are going to be seeing a very fast third command center coming down from Clem. It's a good move. It's a good move. Strong macro setup. Oxide is a very good map for 2 base pushes, so I'm a little bit disappointed we don't see that, but it's still a good situation. Now, Rogue, interestingly, he didn't even go all the way to the natural. He hasn't scouted his opponent at all, so he is like kind of blind countering Clem a little bit. But this is the weakness of predictability. And even seeing the Hellion timing right here with this Overlord will let him know a little bit of what's going on. The Reaper going to drop down a grenade. So far, not a lot has happened from either player. Overlord will scout on in here. I think based on the timing of everything, he should know what's going on. He wants to see if it's going to be something like Viking or... Viking or Cloaked Banshee or anything like that. The Marine will push this Overlord away. Meanwhile, Hellions on the right side are going to be looking for a little bit of damage. Not going to be able to get really anything here. He did build 6 Hellions, which is a decent amount. Going to be a reasonable commitment, but that's a standard amount when you're going for Hellion Liberator, which Clem is doing. We are going to be seeing the triple reactor setup here. Rogue, how many queens is he up to right now? He's up to 7 queens. Does have a Spore Crawler coming up in the main base, as well as at the third. That's going to be extraordinarily helpful for deflecting Liberators. And in fact, Clem, he's going to take a good number of shots from the Queens and Spores. And look at that. Spore was already ready to reposition. And this has been deflected extraordinarily well. But we are going to see the Hellions trying to come on into this third base. They do pick off 2 drones. Honestly, he might have been able to commit harder and pick off even more. Liberator in the natural. Will try and find a little bit of damage on this right side. Yeah, I would have really liked to have seen just a full YOLO right there. Just run right into the mineral line. Use the static defense, or not static defense. Use the Sim City to get set up there and do something more. Now we are going to see the Hellions getting shoved away here. And look at this. We're going to be seeing 1-1 Roaches out of Rogue. This is how he beat Maru in the GSL finals. How many drones have gone down? 5 in total, so it looks like the Liberator getting a lot of work done. Rogue already up to 67 drones, by the way. Very, very quick to get up to this extremely high drone count. Oxide, probably one of the best maps for 1-1 Roach play. And he is doing an extraordinarily good job. And now we're going to see a bunch of Roaches coming on down. We do have 1-1 on the way for Clem. He's going to be starting to get a little bit aggressive. And he is going for Widow Mines, which is about the worst thing you can go for when you're dealing with the 1-1 Roach play. Tank pushes, very good. Oh, and look at this. We got a little bit of a split up coming in from Rogue right here. And he picks off the 3 Marines in the natural. Will force the Hellions back. But now in the natural expansion, he's going to be able to find 3 SCVs and forces a lot of lost mining time and kind of distracts Clem from doing what he wants to do with this. That was only like, that was leftover lings. Those lings were just the leftovers from the early game. So Rogue doing extraordinarily good work with that. He's actually ahead in resources lost at the moment. Meanwhile, Clem, he just now realizes what's up. He's going to build a second factory. Unfortunately, building it at the front, though, which is going to leave it very exposed. We do have the 1-1 and combat shields completing. It does pick off... How many Roaches did he pick off there? Only 2. He lost the 3 Marines. So he lost 2 Marines... Or, sorry, 3 Marines for 2 Roaches, which is technically a little bit cost-efficient. By the way, Clem did add on a tech lab for this factory. And he's going to be going most likely double factory tank right now, building a couple of bunkers, getting himself very well situated to deal with this. But this is going to be an extraordinarily scary push. Rogue is badly supply blocked right now, but he's got 4 Overlords about to complete. This is going to be a really scary push to deal with. There's no tanks out just yet. First one is about to pop. This is a really scary situation. Clem might just fall over right here. Widow Mine is going to get Corrosive Bile down, almost unburned in time, but not quite. Second one does get a pretty decent shot. There's so many Roaches and Ravagers here. Such an amazing concave coming out of Rogue, and he is looking like he might just break through. Oh man, Clem is in so much trouble. Corrosive Biles do come down. They take down the first tank, the first and only tank. 2-2 is on the way for Rogue, by the way. The medevacs do dodge that shot, but here's the problem. Clem, his second factory is in the third base. And that will get forfeit. Ooh, he does eat his own Corrosive Bile right there. A little bit awkward from Rogue. But man, this is looking so dangerous right now for Clem. He is in so much trouble. Now, there is a tank in the mineral line. I love that he set that up there, but 3 Corrosive Biles can take that down. Ooh, he only drops 2. Mass Repair is going to come on in, but not going to be enough to keep it alive. Oh, if he'd put them on auto repair, they might have actually gotten enough repair to keep it alive, considering the fact that the Biles were mistimed. Clem, he is still in so much trouble. And Rogue, he is keeping the pressure on. He is not stopping. He's even adding on a couple lings here. Ooh, look at that. Roaches, well, there was 1 Roach, kind of distracted a little bit. A couple of supply depots getting very low on HP. Rogue continuing to just spam those Biles out and force Clem back. But Clem is starting to stabilize. Oh, a couple of Roaches on an awkward angle. Overlords rallying through. Yeah, Clem didn't lose that much in terms of economy. Rogue will force Clem back. Oh, Clem didn't need to stim there, but he takes a huge stim. Clem did lose those 2 depots, and it actually got him supply blocked. However, he built 5 more. Rogue continuing to push through. Clem, oh man, the stims are really starting to add up, and there's going to be a very strong 2-2 versus just 1-1 timing for Rogue here. Clem boldly moving out with a double medevac drop. I don't think this is the right call. He knows that this attack is going to be continuing, and now Rogue's 2-2 is done. He's going to hit with a gigantic concave. There are a lot of tanks here for Clem, but is it going to be enough? One of them getting corrosive bile down. Another one will get target fire down. A couple more are going to go down, and this is going to be a full collapse from Rogue. He's still maxed out, and he is going to take down Clem in game number 1. Liberator's popping on out, but it's not going to be enough. The Zerg player is still maxed out. The drop moving out from Clem was not the right call. What a cool build out of Rogue. And his concaves were just out of this world. 27 more roaches coming down. All the SCVs at the third base. The factory will go down. Clem started to look really good in this, but he is going to get stunned by the roach man himself, Rogue. He is down over 100 supply at this point. And, oh my god, Rogue's so good at splitting up for just a gigantic concave. He gets to the high ground, corrosive biles down the tank, and with that, game number 1 will go in the favor of Rogue. Wow. That's all I gotta say, wow. And we'll be back for game number 2 in just a moment. Alright, here we go. Spawning down in the bottom right position of Romanticide. It is Team Liquid's very own Clem in the red. And his opponent, spawning up in the top left, it is Dragon Phoenix Gaming's Rogue. In the blue. Now, these players are just phenomenal. They are just both extraordinarily good players. Really big fan of both of them. And I gotta say, I hope to see this go all the way to Game 5 because... yeah, like I said, these players are really good, and it would be a shame if the series ended a little bit early. We are seeing, by the way, both players opening up standard once again. No early pull out of Rogue. No quick proxy racks out of Clem. So they're both showing each other a little bit of respect here. In that sense, I don't think there's many options for Zerg to get aggressive in the early game unless you really want to go crazy. Like you know your opponent doesn't scout at all, and you go for like a proxy hatch Ravager all in or something like that. Or you're blind, you just do that anyways. Or, I don't know. There are some builds where you can go like pool first into like a 5 Roach Rush, or even just build a Roach Warren early on and try and get something done. Will we see that from Rogue after the hatch first? Maybe. It's very possible. It's in his toolkit, but it's not a guarantee. Clem is, I would say, a little bit more rigid as a Terran player. He will play reactively, and he will scout, and he will make good decisions. But I don't think he's got like something like a special with the... you know, just a ton of build orders at his disposal. Or someone like TY, who, same thing, just has a ton of crazy, mad prep that he does. By the way, we are going to be seeing, once again, Rogue going for 6 Zerglings here instead of just the more standard, more normal 4. Also delaying his Overlord in order to get a 28 supply 3rd hatch. Nice grenade right there from Clem. Oh, Clem almost getting a Zergling, but not quite. Rogue will be able to deflect this Reaper. Honestly, this makes me want to just go 6 Lings. Like, I'm pretty bad, honestly, at dealing with Reapers. And it would be really nice to be able to just shut it down every time and not have to worry too much. We are going to be seeing another very fast 3rd command center out of Clem. And I talked a little bit about predictability. This is kind of it right here. Now he will go... okay, hold the phone. Well, this isn't predictable at all. This is going to be a Hellion drop. Oh, that is very cool out of Clem. Okay, now this gets me a little bit more excited. Clem obviously coming prepared with something a little bit spicy. Ooh, nice grenade. But the Zerglings are going to be able to keep this creep tumor alive. Good job from Rogue. He did, of course, take the forward base. On Romanticide, it is so crucial for Zerg players to get these 2 sets of rocks down if you're going to be playing anything akin to Mutiling Bane or just any Lingbane style. Because without this, these choke points for Terran, setting up tanks here, tanks here, tanks here, tanks here, anywhere, becomes an absolute nightmare to deal with. That being said, that's not what we're going to see initially out of the Terran. Clem is going to be getting very aggressive with this drop. Now, there is the potential that he doesn't go for a Hellion drop and he actually goes for something crazy like an Armory and Hellbats, but I don't think we're going to see that. It's already, in fact, too late for that, and the timing for it to be 4 Hellions is just too good. Ooh, now, does Rogue see these Hellions coming? He does. I like where he's been putting his Overlords, by the way. Just on those perches, and he sees 4 Hellions going in a suspicious route to the top. Rogue, by the way, putting his Lings on patrol, which is going to mean they don't bunch up as much, and they're more likely to act on their own intelligently against a Hellion run-by attempt. That being said, these 4 Hellions are going to be able to get into the main base. Clem unloading while moving and getting right on into here. Rogue drops an emergency spore. I think that might have been meant to be an Evo chamber. Ooh, Clem did not need to lift up. He could have kept going. He already gets 7 drones, though, which is really, really nice damage so far. And he is going to come back in here. I think this is the most underutilized build in the Terran arsenal in TVZ these days, is a Hellion drop. It is so good, can get so much work done. 2 more drones go down. He keeps every Hellion alive, hasn't lost them yet. I was just going to say, I would love to see a scan, and that's exactly what we see. He could have even put it a little bit further forward. Could have definitely gotten 3 tumors, maybe even potentially 4. Meanwhile, on the left side, not able to deny this expansion. That would have been a really nice deny if he could have. Clem starting up as 1-1. Rogue starting up as 1-1. Carapace at the same time. +1 melee just a little bit later. Nice collapsing move from Rogue here. Only loses a single Zergling right there. Now, yeah, he sends the Lings from multiple angles. So he doesn't lose much at all. If it was me, I would have lost every Zergling, and the Hellions would have then run in and killed, 15 drones, and then I would have stacked them up, and they would have gotten another 15 afterwards. But Rogue, he is just good. He is just straight good. More barracks coming on in from Clem. He does have his stim done, can go straight up into combat shields, and he's going to start getting aggressive here. He's already putting himself into a pretty good position. Rogue delaying his Baneling Nest by quite a bit and getting Burrow. Burrow getting the layer as well. His creep spread looking fantastic. He does find the Reaper there. It doesn't seem like much, but a good grenade can actually be very, very difficult to deal with. More medevac showing on up here for Clem. Rogue. Ooh, he's going to intercept some reinforcements here. Man, look at this hit squad of Zerglings. What an unexpected move out of Rogue that kind of, I think, just discombobulated Clem a little bit. And, oh, hitting the spacebar there. Jumping back to Clem's face. We are going to see the big stim coming on in. Now, the Baneling Nest was not done, so I think that Ling run-by was to try and buy time for Banelings. If Clem loses or kills this base, that would be such a nice start for him. We're going to see a bunch of transfuse and a big surround. He almost gets one of the medevacs, but does not quite take it down. Clem, unfortunately, fought just before his own 1-1 was done. And I think +1 Carapace might have been done for Rogue for part of that fight. Now Clem's 2-2 starts up. Rogue starts up his +2 Carapace. Nice scan, going to kill off a good number of creep tumors. Will be forced to lift on up. Rogue is really on top of this so far, keeping Clem from getting much purchase at all, and immediately respreading creep all the time. Consistently doing so. But Clem is going to deny all 3 of those tumors. Well done by Clem. But Rogue, look at this counterattack we're seeing coming on in. Meanwhile, Drilling Claws is going to be on the way for Clem. Oh, he gets all of the... Oh my god, Rogue. So smart. He goes in with the Ling Bane at the natural, knows that Clem is paying attention there, and then just bum rushes his opponent with the Banelings on top of the main army. Oh, that's a big reach Widowmine. I thought for a second he was going to friendly fire the SCVs, and he already got 11 SCVs. He could have gotten like 25 if he dragged the Widowmine into what was already a good number of wounded SCVs. Still, that is so good for Rogue. Damn, he is the thinking man Zerg, and you cannot tell me otherwise. Hydralisk Den coming down as well as an infestation pit, so he's going to start to transition towards those lurkers. Already sending some lings towards the top side. He does burrow one of those lings. Scan comes in from Clem. Drilling Claws is about to complete for Clem as well. And he's got the +1 vehicle plating, which is going to help out a lot with the survivability of Medivacs, survivability of Widow Mines. If Mutas were on the way, it would help with the survivability of Thors. Oh, and look at this. The Zerglings are going to get in. There is nothing in the wall. Meanwhile, Drilling Claw's Widow Mine drop looks like it picked off 5 drones on his left side base. Is that worth it? Honestly, probably not really. However, on the other side of the map, just a few lings got 11 SCVs. Oh, no, it was the Banes. There was a Bane run by on the left side. God damn. Rogue is everywhere. Clem, though, he's about to have his 2-2 complete. However, Rogue doing a great job target firing down Medivacs, and he gets one that was full. Oh, man. 10 queens for Rogue, and he is doing so much work with them. And he's consistently targeting down Medivacs. Oh, man, he almost gets another one right there while forcing the liftoff. Meanwhile, he actually forced a second scan on this base. Rogue is on fire right now. Both players on 2-2. We've got +1 missile on the way for Rogue. Ooh, where is the... Oh, Spore Crawler just doesn't quite provide vision of this setup. All 10 queens are together, by the way. And Rogue, he... How many hatcheries is he on? He's on 5 hatcheries, 1 layer. But because he's teching so aggressively, he's able to do this. Now, Ling's coming in on this bottom side base. Ling's coming in on the 4th. Oh, I need a picture-in-picture right here. Only a few SCVs going down. Widowmine is actually getting some really big hits. So that actually goes, I would say, pretty well for Rogue. Or pretty well for Clem. Meanwhile, ooh, Widowmine drop. Nope, just Widowmines. Widowmine's trying to come on in. Rogue with a cool burrow move. He's just trying to buy time with these Zerglings while he drones up a little bit more, and more importantly, gets up into those very, very powerful lurkers. He is actually really keeping Clem back a lot. Burrows another Zergling here on the right side. God, he is just fantastic at this. Creep spread's been intact because he's been keeping Clem so heavily on the back foot. Zerglings do not see this army moving out, but the creep does. Clem he's gonna need to scan and kill a lot of creep here. Zergling's gonna run on into this base during everything. There is an attack to the top side as well. Clem doing his best to multi-prong. He doesn't kill the active tumor. Oh no. Where are the lurkers though? Ooh, they're gonna burrow in on top of this army. Widowmine does get a pretty big connection. Another one comes on in and clears out a lot of those units. Marine's going to come in on this base. Transfuse, trying to keep the base alive. And the Widow, they do actually keep the base alive. Damn. Widowmine's going down. They get some decent shots, but it's not enough. Transfuse. How many transfuses did he cast right there? 19 transfuses. Holy crap. These Widowmines do need to get cleared up. Oh, wow. Somehow they're not firing, though. This one is going to be huge. 26 kills on that one. 3 on the other one. God, what a slugfest so far. And now we're seeing a Nidus Worm coming in from Rogue. Oh, man. I can't believe this creep tumor at the front wasn't dealt with. These Widowmines are a real problem, actually. Oh, man. They really need to get cleared up. Rogue's still doing fantastic damage with run-bys. I can't believe Clem hasn't rebuilt this wall. Or this wall. Like, wall here makes things so much less complicated. He does scan and will clear out this creep tumor. Meanwhile, Rogue is going to finally clean out most of the Widowmines. 2 of them still up. Oh, this Zergling sees a single Marine. Did Rogue see that? Well, he's got lurkers in position anyways. And he is getting up into 2-3 for those lurkers. 1 queen. Wow, he loses 1 queen for all of that. Meanwhile, though, on the bottom side, Clem does kill off a base finally, but it's Rogue's 6th base. I'm really liking how Rogue is playing this. God, he is so damn good at this game. Ooh, Widowmines, though. Oh, God, getting some big connections. Ghosts are starting to be added in for Clem. He is on 5 bases. Bailey's going to roll on forward. Clem. Oh, man. Rogue actually really messing up the target fire there. He could have gone on top of everything, and he's going to lose a lot of this army, but one lurker might be enough to push back. There's one lurker from the back firing away at this Bioforce. It is getting a lot done. There we go. Scan comes down. Will clear out both lurkers with the snipe. Lurkers on this planetary on the top side do get a bit of damage done. Need to see a scan to kill these off. Oh, man. Wow. Rogue hitting in so many places at once. Oh, and he's splitting the lurkers, so it takes so many scans to deal with this. And now Lings are going to try and run into this position, but they're going to get bottlenecked so hard. Both players, this is such an even game right now. Army supplies are within just 2 of one another. Overall, that did favor Clem quite a bit. Look at the resources lost. It is actually only 6,000 different. More drones coming in for Rogue. Clem's economy is starting to suffer a little bit. Ah, man, if he could afford to get some more orbitals right now, that would be so helpful. As it is, though. Wow, he's on 4. But it feels like he cannot mule because he needs scans so consistently. Honestly, even a Raven right now might be the way. Rogue is so good at always just being where you don't want him to be. Oh, and there's the Nidus Worm. It is not spotted Clem. He's building a missile turret, but it might be too late. If lurkers unload into this main base, all of the production will be forfeit. Oh, God. We've got 12 Banelings morphing in at the top side. They're going to try and crush this planetary while the lurkers burrow up in the main base. 12 lurkers. Oh, that is a big problem for Clem. This is potentially a checkmate move. And look at the SCVs. All of them getting obliterated right now. There are 31 of them going down. The planetary goes down. Make it 32. Lurkers getting so much damage done. Clearing out this base at the 3rd. In the main base, getting a lot of ghosts. There's not enough ghost energy, actually, I think, to clear out all of this. Scan is going to come down, but damage does interrupt Snipe. However, he may be able to just barely clean this up, but Rogue's not done. And, well, Clem is. GG is going to get called, and Rogue takes an exciting, thrilling 300-mile-per-hour game number 2 and puts himself on match point. What a game and what a series we have so far. All right. Oof. Yeah, that Rogue was just so all over Clem in that game. He just did not give him a chance. No chance at all. Once the first push got cleaned up while Rogue counterattacked Clem, it was kind of not over, not even close to over, but the momentum of Clem was immediately snatched away by Rogue. Very, very cool stuff. Very, very cool stuff, and I look forward to seeing something like that again potentially on 2K Atmos. Now, 2K Atmos is a map where we could actually see mutas. We could definitely see mutas out of Rogue. Really, the only map that I would recommend going mutas as Zerg. Maybe Romanticide, if you can once again kind of break the Terran's momentum for a little bit and get yourself some time to get up to them, but other than that, it can be really tricky. Now, Clem. Ooh, he is going to mix things up here, going for a reactor first. Okay, I was a little bit critical that he wasn't being more adventurous with his build orders, but we're seeing exactly that here. And reactor first does open up a very interesting build that Beyond... Oh, was it Beyond or Euthermal? It might actually be Euthermal, who I saw it from first. But it's a very quick 3 racks play. But as I say that, nope, not going to be the case at all. It is, in fact, going to be a factory. And he's going to be producing Marines off this reactor for a little bit of time. Skipped the... pardon me, skipped the... What did he skip? Something. He skipped something. He skipped the Reaper. So only checks, sees that his opponent went for a hatch first, and then just goes on home. Now, this is actually I actually really like this response because Rogue went blind 6 Zerglings. Actually, I really like this response. So it's as though Clem killed the drone without actually even making the Reaper. Oh, I actually really, really like this response. And this is going to be what I was wondering it might be. It is going to be an armory. And we're going to be seeing a Hellbat push with this. This could be very scary. This could be very scary and difficult to deal with. We've already got 6 Marines out on the map. Clem going to be moving forward with them. We do have a Zergling going all the way around. Look at this. Oh, is he going to spot the Marines? Does see 1 Marine. He must have tagged the watchtower and got that Zergling. Nice stutter step right there from Clem. Single Marine picking that off. And now we're going to see Rogue. He will find these Marines, but he's going to absolutely lose this Overlord for it. Tech Lab coming down means he's going to start up Stim quickly behind this, but it will be at least 2 Hellions for now. He's going to be rallying Hellions with this. Ling speed is not yet done for Rogue. The goal of this has to be to kill the 3rd hatch, right? This is a build I don't think I've seen. He skipped the starport. Yeah, this is... The goal of this is absolutely to kill the 3rd hatch. This is a very, very powerful looking build out of Clem. Ooh, and the Queens are being microed back nicely, but they're getting very low on HP. No transfuse energy available. This is all 4 Queens, so if he loses those, he's in a lot of trouble. Meanwhile, Zerglings are not going to be effective against this at all. Oh, if Clem could have surrounded that Queen as it popped out, well, it doesn't matter. He's going to get the kill anyways. There might be enough Zerglings and Queens to clear this out. Only 2 Hellbats and 2 Marines remaining. And this is going to be, I think, a cleanup from Rogue. He hasn't been injecting for a while, and that kind of sucks. Does drop a transfuse. I think he was able to drop 1 inject. Yeah, actually, you know what? His injects are not so bad. He dropped an inject from the Queen that was about to die. So gets a little bit of value there. I think... Oh, well, now definitely Rogue comes out ahead. I was going to say, I think Rogue comes out a little bit ahead. But now I think he comes out quite ahead. Keeps that hatchery alive. Didn't lose as much eco as I expected. So something that you have to do when you're dealing with a push like this is... continuously build Queens from your hatcheries while you're holding this off. Because you need to pull all of your Queens to the front. Oh, man, where are the Zerglings right now? Only 9 of them, and they're in the natural. If Clem looks to go aggressive, he could potentially get a lot done. Speaking of which, he is going to find 6 drones right there at the 3rd. And Rogue goes for a bit of a surround. Does find 3 of the Hellions. Queen's adding on a lot of DPS, so things getting a little bit rough initially for Rogue. But then he gets a good counterattack, and that's a kind of aggressive move that I'm looking for from Clem. Goes in, picks off a couple of drones. Will get on out there, and look at this. Rogue hiding a Roach Warren right here. He's going to go for another 1-1 Roach push, I am pretty sure. I actually especially like this after a few of the Hellions went down, because it's going to mean that Clem is going to have a very difficult time scouting this. And we saw in game number 1, where those Roaches were so effective for Rogue, he went for the very quick... Clem, that is, went for the very quick Widow Mine set. So he went aggressive with the Widow Mines and didn't have tank production. Speaking of which, we don't have tanks in production at all still. Clem going up to a 4th and 5th barracks. Oh, he is going to get a tech lab, though. So it will be at least tank production to start out. That is very, very good for Clem. Still, I don't know if I like his position. 20 Zerglings going to come on in. That's a little bit interesting while he's going for 1-1 Roaches. Creep spread from Rogue starting to get pretty nice as well. Zerglings, he's just going to use these to... Oh, I like this very much. I like this quite a lot. And he's actually going to be able to get a wraparound on these Hellions. We'll find 2 of them. Oh, no, a missed micro from Clem as he kind of panics and sends them back in. Does save that Hellion. And kills off a good number of Zerglings in total. 10 Zerglings. Honestly, not great. Okay. Ooh, but meanwhile, we are going to be seeing the Zerglings coming in for a counterattack. They're going to be able to fight all of these Marines. 1-1 does complete, and combat shields as well, but it's not going to be enough for the Marines to win. However, well, he will deal with this. Rogue gets the full scout on what his opponent's doing, at least initially. The thing is, by showing those Zerglings, you make your opponent think that it is not going to be roaches. Scan comes down, sees the roaches just now, and you might have noticed there was a widow mine in production, even though this was a tech lab factory. As soon as he scans the roaches and sees them, he'll switch it to tanks. And he is going to be dropping 3 bunkers across his bases here. I think he's in a better position than he was in game number 1 to deal with this. Oh, I don't know if I like even a single medevac moving out right now is a little bit scary. He does see the roaches moving forward. There's a lot of surface area to cover across 3 bases. And he got a very, very quick 4th command center. That means less money into these units. Now, he is going up into 2-2. Rogue, not going for 2-2. 14 Ravagers on the way. He's going to start taking down these rocks. The 8 Marines are going to come in on this right side. And I think they're going to be able to kill this base. Yeah, they probably will, but here comes the main attack. Oh, command center is going to try and get landed back down. We do see corrosive piles killing off both bunkers immediately and a tank going down immediately. This is looking so deadly for Clem right now. He's down 35 army supply. Of course, roaches are very high in supply. Oh, just barely dodging those corrosive piles. However, there's not that many roaches at the front. If he can break through them, damn, he almost ate some huge corrosive piles. If he can break through the roaches and get in on top of those relatively squishy Ravagers, could be pretty good for Clem. But he's in a lot of trouble right now. He lost 14 SCVs and did not break the push. Resources lost. Slightly in favor of Clem, but it's not enough. He needs more medevacs. He needs that 2-2 so desperately to finish on up. He is in so much trouble right now. Roaches and Ravagers. Well, Ravagers... Oh, he actually only cast 2 corrosive piles on that tank, so it gets a lot of fire. 1 bunker does go down in a natural. Meanwhile, the Marines are pushing this back a little bit. Does pick off a Ravager. Good job by Clem, but he is really in some huge trouble, and he needs that 2-2 so desperately, but it's still a ways away from finishing up. Rogue is up 40 army supply. Takes out another tank right there. 7 more SCVs going down, and his 3rd base is breached. A Changeling does get dropped here by Rogue. It's actually going to provide high ground vision. Oh, that could be very critical for some corrosive piles to take down this tank. And yeah, he puts it right on top of that tank. Supply depots are going to get taken down. That will not supply block Clem, but will put him into danger of being supply blocked. And in fact, with 2 more depots going down, he almost is supply blocked now. 2-2 is going to complete for Clem, and that will give him a little bit of an opportunity to fight. Oh, the corrosive piles, will they come down on the tank? Not yet. They're going to come down on the Marines. Clem doesn't dodge the piles. Oh no. Every single pile up to that point had been dodged. Now the high ground tank does get taken out by some corrosive piles, and that might be the backbreaker right there for Clem. He never cleared out that changeling, and that was a big problem. 10 SCVs do go down. We are seeing more and more of them falling at that 3rd base. That 1 tank might have been the difference maker. The single changeling of Rogue could be the MVP of this game. That 1 tank in the backfield gets 12 kills though, and does keep Clem alive for the moment. I'm going to go ahead and say it. Yeah, that changeling just... If Rogue wins, that changeling won in the game. +2 Carapace does complete for Rogue. He is down in upgrade still. It's 1-2 versus 2-2, and that makes Marines so much more powerful. But I will say, the Carapace upgrade is more important for Zerg. So I'm actually very impressed that Rogue prioritized it, even while he was being so aggressive. It is important to note, by the way, that Clem is on 4 command centers, 4 orbitals. So if he can stabilize, he will still be in an okay position, and a very good macro position. But that is a big if. That's a huge concave coming in from Rogue. Clem going to be forced to pull the SCVs away from this. Corrosive piles are going to get dodged by Clem. Ooh, he actually steps back into one. Does hit another tank in the backfield. Clem is so close to holding, but he's also so close to being broken here. SCVs are getting picked off. Oh, corrosive piles take down another tank. Rogue, oh man, Clem, he's just so close to holding. He's going to start a step forward on top of these units. We'll pick off a lot of the Ravagers. There's only 1 Ravager remaining. Couple of Lynx helping to tank. Individual units right now are so important. The medevacs for Clem they comprise a lot of his army supply. Clem actually up in army supply at the army value at the moment. Resources lost. Over 5,000 in favor of Clem. He is so close to stabilizing and getting a big lead, but 2-2 has completed for Rogue now. Clem just now starting to rebuild SCVs. He's going to get pushed back. Rogue has been continuing to spread creep. Clem with a great scan on this left side. Wants to know if this base was set up. By the way, if this Marine drop had killed that base earlier, this game would have been over with a Clem victory. Also, look at that sneaky changeling. Rogue, following the army, knows where it is, and knows the entire setup of Clem right now, knows exactly where the tanks are. He's going to come in for one last bust attempt. If he breaks through, he will win, but if not, I think Clem could have enough. However, there's just not enough here. All the tanks are going to get picked off. Corrosive Biles are going to come down on every single tank, and Clem is going to get overwhelmed here at the natural expansion. Rogue, oh man, he was so close to being held right there. The changelings of Rogue are just built different. They give so much important information. 25 more SCVs going down. Corrosive Biles will take down another tank in the back. God, Rogue is so good with this Roach Ravager play. 22 SCVs to 65 up until just moments ago. I would have not, if not favored Clem, I gave him very, very good odds to make, to make this happen. Scan comes down at this fourth base, I should say, sees that there's an additional gas, sees it's fully saturated. Clem doesn't want to give up. This is his tournament life on the line, but he knows there's too much for Rogue, and GG is going to get called. Rogue takes the 3 over Clem with amazing play. Top to bottom, absolutely top tier. God, he is just amazing, and this has been another Alpha X replay cast from the ASUS ROG 2021. I have been Steadfast, and thank you very much for tuning in.